I want all of you to know that I was considering backing out of this one, you know? Because, the last movie I saw in theaters was also a horror movie, and I'm just thinking, I'm kind of over the horror movies. Maybe I'll just skip this one, go to see Suicide Squad when it comes out, something fun to change things up. But then suddenly the temperature decided to become like surface of mercury levels up in here, and I'm just like, the theater's gonna have air conditioning. Might as well fucking do it. And yeah, I don't like paying full price for movie tickets, but I lucked out on this one because you know how Tuesdays are discounted. Turns out Saturday morning screenings are discounted too. So I win this round, kids. I win. So the movie starts off with like this dude. He's in like a textiles warehouse with like a bunch of creepy fucking mannequins, and they're like closing up for the night, and he's video chatting with his son, and his son is that kid from the Wolfie's Just Fine music videos. And I was just like, holy shit, I can't even believe this. But that kid's a great actor, by the way. I just want you to know that. And the kid's like, are you coming home soon? Mom's talking to herself. And the dad's like, oh, yeah, I'll be home in an hour. Just chill, bro. And then he signs off. And then the lady that's working with him, she's like, do you want me to close up and stuff? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And she starts walking around. She's got like a clipboard, and like the lights go out, and she has to like wave to get the sensor to start working again. And when the lights come back on, like there's like a rack of clothes that like have sort of moved on their own. And yeah, she's like, well, that's fucking weird. But then she walks to like a back room where the lights are on, and then like she does that thing that we all saw in the trailer, like turns the lights off and then on and then off, and like there's like the silhouette of somebody in the doorway. And then it like attacks her, but it doesn't get to her because she turns the lights on just in time. And then she runs back to the dude, and she's like, bro, some serious shit is going on. And he's on the phone trying to get a therapist for his wife, and he's like, yeah, whatever, just leave. And she's like, okay, be safe when you're leaving. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And then he goes to leave, and like he sees like the way the place is lit up, it's like a bunch of different like floodlights, like it's basically spotlights every few feet or something. And he sees like somebody like crouching between them, and he's like, yeah, hello. And then it like stands up all weird, and like you could sort of hear like the bones cracking and shit. And yeah, he's like, what the fuck? So he books it, and he gets attacked. Like it scratches up his leg, and he's like, well, fuck this. And he runs back to his office where the light is, and he like grabs a bat or some shit. But then the lights in the office go out, and yeah, he dies, and his eyes get gouged out, and it's kind of fucking gross, but that's what it is. And then like I think what happens next is we're in like the house with the kid, and he hears his mom talking, and he's just like, what the fuck is happening? And he leaves his room, and he walks over to his mom's room, and he's like, Mom, are you okay? And she's talking to no one, literally no one. And she's like, yeah, did we wake you? And he's like, what? And she's like talking to somebody that's like hiding in the closet. It's like the darkness, right? And he can hear creaking in there, and he's like, well, I'm gonna go back to bed, bye. And he leaves the light on his room, and like the lights outside of his room turn off, and then like somebody starts like fucking like rattling his doorknob trying to get in, because it's like darkness, demon, whatever. And yeah, so then I believe it cuts to I don't fucking remember her name, but she's like the kid's sister, and she's got her, like, I think she's a tattoo artist or something. Like, she lives over a tattoo parlor, and she's got like she's like, I don't know, part of like punk subculture or goth, I don't fucking know. She wears all black all the time. So she's like sleeping with her boyfriend, and she's like, okay, you can't spend the night. And then she like sort of boots him out of her apartment, but like not before like you get to see like all these scars that she has on her arms. Yeah. So she kicks him out, and then like suddenly it's the next day, and we see like the boy has been falling asleep in class like a lot. So CPS gets called, and they're just like, the mom's not picking up her phone, and they're just like, do you have anyone else we can call? And he ends up calling his sister, and she comes to like get him with the boyfriend, and CPS is like, this is some serious shit, man. Like, if something bad is happening to him, he might have to go to a foster home. And like the sister's like, yeah, whatever, like, who cares? And then she's like, I'll take you home, okay? And he's like, do I have to go back to my house? And she's like, yeah. So they go back to like this fucking huge house. It's gigantic. And like all the curtains are closed, all the lights are off. It's spooky as shit. And it's also kind of old because like all the doors still have like keyholes and like those weird door handles that sort of look like they're made out of diamond or something, like glass door handles. That's what they're called. And yeah. So as they're walking up to the door, the kid's like, look, I've been like getting like, or like he's having nightmares about like this like Diana, and of course that means something to the older sister. She's like, I used to have nightmares about that, but that's all they are, nightmares. She's bullshitting. So yeah, so the kid runs into the house like, and he starts packing his bags because he wants to get the fuck gone, and I can't blame him. And the sister starts talking to the mom, and she's just like, have you been taking your pills? And she's like, it's like, I don't need these accusations. And then like she decides to take the kid with her, and she's like, you can't take my son, but they do it anyway. And they take him back to the apartment, and yeah, so like they stay the night there. And like in the middle of the night, like this was also in one of the trailers, like whatever, like the sister, like she's sleeping in the bed, and then like she hears like a scratching noise, and like she wakes up, and she looks like in the doorway, and of course like next to her room she's got like the flashing tattoo sign, which I don't know about you, but I could not sleep next to. Like, bitch, close your blinds. And then she sees like somebody scratching at the floor over there, and like they disappear every time like the light comes back on, and then it like leaps at her, but it doesn't make it because of the light. And then she runs for like the light switch, and she makes it, and she's like, well, shit. And then she runs into the bathroom, and her brother is like sleeping in the bathtub with a flashlight. Yeah. Of course, like the next morning, like the CPS lady comes back, and she's like, you're not really fit to be a guardian. Like, she's got like a bong just like sitting out in the open in her living room, and she's just like, the only way you're gonna get your brother to like live with you is like prove you're a fit guardian and like take your mom to court. And she's like, well, shit. So the CPS lady like takes the brother, like takes him to school, and yeah. So I believe while that's happening, oh, right. The sister, like, she sees, like, she starts cleaning shit up around the apartment, and then she sees where, like, that bitch was scratching at the floor, and she lifts up the carpet because the carpet was covering it for some reason, and it spells Diana, and then we go into flashback mode where, like, she was, like, drawing a picture, like, really late at night underneath a desk lamp, and she starts, like, drawing, like, mom, dad, and me, typical kid shit. And she turns around for 1 second, and then when she turns back, like, the paper's fucking gone. And then she's like hears like a noise in her closet, and then like she flips the light on in there, and like the notepad she was using, like it falls to the ground like someone was holding it. Yeah. And then like the dad's been scratched out and replaced with like a drawing of like somebody called Diana. And yeah, she's like, well, shit. So she basically knows that means that like Diana has returned, and like she's fucking evil and shit. So yeah. So she and the boyfriend, they go to the mom's house during the day when nobody's there, and yeah, like she discovers that Diana was her mom's friend from like childhood when she was in an asylum or something, like getting treated for her depression, and like Diana, like, she had, like, this bizarre condition where, like, if she got in light, her skin would be burned and shit. And, yeah. And then, like, she got killed by, like, floodlights in an experimental therapy thing. I don't know how the fuck the floodlights, like, disintegrated her, but apparently that's what happened. So, she and her boyfriend, like, they steal, like, a box of information and shit from the house, and then they just, like, they go back and they try to figure out, like all this shit and who the fuck this bitch is. And, yeah. Meanwhile, the little brother, like, he has to go back to the house, and, like, the mom's like, how about we have, like, a movie night? We can just, like, hang out and have some personal time. All three of us. Yeah, because the mom's basically fucking nuts at this point, if you didn't already guess. And, yeah. So, they start watching a movie. It's like an old-ass 50s movie. Okay, fine, whatever. Don't put on the Avengers or anything cool like that, Mom. So, she's like, hold on. I'm gonna pause the movie. I'm gonna go do a thing. And then she turns off the lights in the living room, and she's like... Then she starts, like, grabbing her son by the shoulders, and she's just like, I've been ignoring my friend. The doctor said she died, but she didn't. And I've been ignoring her all this time. I'm not gonna do that anymore. And then, like, you could see Diana in the fucking background. She's, like, walking, like, all creepy and shit. I don't know how her dying managed to give her, like, supernatural powers or, like, gave her, like, the claws to fucking destroy people's skin, but whatever. And then she's, like, up on top of the couch, and then, like, she starts attacking, basically. I don't know what her end goal is, just to kill people, I guess. And, yeah. So the kid runs for the light, and she's like, no, wait, she doesn't know what she's doing, because the mom is fucking loopy, you know? And the kid fucking books it the fuck out, because, you know, he knows what he's doing. And, like, eventually, he makes it to the sister's apartment. I guess he just walked there, and he's like, Mom has gone fucking nuts. That bitch Diana, like, touched my head. And, like, the sister starts explaining to him, like, all the shit she found in the box, like, all the information that she found. Like, it was apparently stuff that the dad had been looking for. Like, he had been researching this stuff and, like, trying to, help the mom, I think. Oh, no, wait. Maybe it was, like, the mom just had, like, this stuff hanging around. Actually, they do explain that, like, the dad is a stepdad, and, like, the daughter's, like, original dad, like, left or something, and maybe it was, like, his research or some shit. I don't fucking know. Whatever. She has a box full of shit, and she's like, Diana was found in a basement when she was, like, 12, like, hiding from the light. She had, like, a weird skin condition. Like, her dad was dead, and, like, she'd get burns if she was ever in the light, but she had, like, this weird ability to get into people's head, and, like, she tricked the mom into thinking that she was her friend. So, yeah. I guess that just happened. So, yeah. And she died, but then she came back, and the only reason she's back is because the mom is at her worst, and when the mom is at her worst, she can control her better. I don't fucking know. And then, like, basically, nowhere's fucking safe, because, like, they think, like, the boyfriend's coming back with groceries, but it's just Diana knocking on the walls, and she's like, she lures them into a closet, but then she grabs the boy from, like, the darkness under the bed, which is apparently something she can do. I don't fucking know. Her abilities are very inconsistent, I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. Then they're all like, well, shit's fucked, man. So we all gotta go back to the house and ask Mom what the fucking deal is. And they ask her about it, like, over dinner, and she flips the fuck out, basically denies a bunch of shit. She's like, of course, like, the daughter, like, she left home, like, when she was younger, probably because of the whole Diana thing. And, yeah. And she's like, I don't abandon my friends like you abandoned me. And, yeah. Yeah, so they're all like, well, we better stay the night here, because at least there's consistent lighting, because, like, they turn on all the lights, they start, like, they, like, duct tape the lights on, but then, like, the sister sleeps with the brother in the same bed as him, like, because, like, he's scared and shit. But first she goes to, like, talk to the mom. She's like, it's like, we're staying here, Mom. And, like, the mom opens the door, and she's like, really staying here? And she's like, tomorrow, I wanna try and start over. And the daughter's like, okay. And she, like, holds her hand, and then she gets, like, pulled back into the bedroom. And, like, she slipped her, like, a piece of paper that said, I need help. And, yeah. That sucks shit. Like, really, what are you gonna do about it? There's a fucking, like, darkness ghost. And, yeah. So, eventually, like, in the middle of the night, like, the boyfriend's sleeping downstairs, and all the lights go out. Like, I guess it must be, like, a major power outage in, like, the neighborhood. Because, like, the boyfriend, he wakes up when the lights go out, and, like, he goes outside, and, like, the street lights are out, too. So, like, whatever. Shit going bad in California, I guess. So, then the sister freaks out. She's got, like, this wind-up flashlight, you know, like the ones that, like, you wind them up and then that powers them. That's kind of cool. So, she does the most intensely foolish thing I can imagine and goes downstairs to try to fuck with the fuse box like she actually knows what she's doing. Yeah, right. So, yeah. And then the brother ends up following her down there, and he's like, don't leave me alone. And it's like, why would we come down here? And, like, and then she's like, it's a trap. And then Diana's at the top of the stairs, and she slams the door shut on him. And, yeah. So the boyfriend runs back inside because he hears them screaming, but, like, he has to get the fuck out as well. And, like, yeah. He starts getting attacked by Diana, like, she smashes his phone and shit so he can't use the light, and then he runs outside. But, like, there's a little archway over, like, the driveway, and he gets caught in it by Diana, and then he, like, grabs his car keys, because, like, his car is pulled into the front driveway, and he turns the headlights on, and I'm just like, go boyfriend, like, seriously, that guy was awesome. And then he fucks off, and they're just like, is he leaving us? And the sister's like, no, there's no way he'd do that. And then they start going back downstairs to, like, try and find more light, and they find, like, I don't know, like a furnace or something. They start burning papers. And then, eventually, they find a black light, which is kind of cool. Like, the sister's like, I'm gonna go look around with this black light, and, yeah. And she starts finding, like, all these weird, like, writings on the walls, like Sophie is, like, they tried to keep me away from Sophie. It's just basically scary shit. And it turns out, like, with the black light, you can use it to see Diana. Because, like, Diana was upstairs, like, talking to the mom, and she's like, don't threaten my children. And she tries to start taking her pills, but, like, Diana throws her across the room, and she's unconscious for a little bit. And, yeah. So Diana, like, she shows up through a shelf, and she's, like, all fucking burned and gross looking. But it turns out, if, like, you have the black light and a regular light on her at the same time, it burns the fuck out of her. Which is, you know, great. Like, finally, she has a weakness. But, yeah. So, eventually, like, the cops show up, because that's what the boyfriend did. He went and he got the cops. So, you know, points to him. So, the cops go in there, and they get them out. They get them out of the basement. And then the dude cop, he sees Diana, like, sneaking around the kitchen, and he's like, come back here. And then he gets, like, I don't know, like, I thought he was pointing the flashlight directly at her, but, like, she still grabs him anyway. And then, like, his body gets, like, oh, no, wait, it was really cool. He, like, shoots at her, but, like, when the gun shoots, it, like, makes light, right? So it doesn't hurt her. Yeah. So, yeah. So she kills him, and, like, she drags his body away. And then there's, like, the lady cop with him. She gets killed, too, because she didn't listen to the whole thing about keeping the light on her. And, yeah. So, like, Diana, like, stands her up in the doorway, and, like, her eyes are missing, and then she falls over. Yeah. So, they're just like, well, this is fucked. We better get gone. But the boy's like, nah, man. We gotta get mom first. And then, like, the boyfriend comes, like, rushing in through the door, and, like, the sister's like, here, bro, get the fuck out, go with my boyfriend. And he's just like, what, why? And she's like, I'm gonna go get mom. And he's like, okay, whatever. And then they go chill outside the house while the sister goes through the real scares. And, yeah. So she finds out through, like, the whispering, like, Diana can talk. Like, she, like, has, like, a weird voice. Like, she's like, I'm not leaving and shit. And, yeah. So I don't know why the fuck nobody was back-talking that bitch, because she needed a slap across the face. Anyway, so, yeah, you find out that, like, the girl's father didn't really leave. He got killed by Diana, which is what happened to the stepfather. So, yeah. She's like, well, shit. And then, like, Diana, like, she, like, drops the black light or whatever, and then Diana throws her over, like, the balcony or whatever, and, like, she lands in, like, the main hall, and the mom is, like, she, like, attacks her, and then the mom's there. She stole the cop's gun, and she's, like, it's basically works out to a thing where, like, Diana can't exist without the mom, like, because of her mind or some shit, and she's, like, she tries to shoot her, and she's, like, I can't kill you, but you're nothing without me, and then the mom, like, shoots herself in the head, and then Diana dies. Also, she, like, explodes into fire things, and, yeah. Then the movie's pretty much over. Yeah. Like, they hug in the back of an ambulance. Yeah. Pretty much worked out. You know, I was seeing so many people, like, before the movie came out, like, the reviews that were like, oh, it's kind of light on scares and shit. It's not that scary. You know what? It's just like, maybe it isn't scary. Maybe it isn't to all these people that have been seeing horror movies for years and years. But I'm not exactly a veteran with my, 10 horror movies I've seen? Like, really. I found this movie scary. I did. It's like, I'm not afraid of the dark. Who the fuck is afraid of the dark anymore? But, you know, it's still fucking freaky. That bitch was scary. Like, when you finally see her, her body is all, like, burnt and gross, it's nasty. And, like, I don't know, just her, like, whole crazy, like, long-nailed evil witch persona, like, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I found it frightening. But, you know, some great acting. I'm gonna say it again, that kid from the Wolfie's Just Fine music videos, he's a great actor. He's a great child actor, and those are hard to come across, not gonna lie. Alright. So, I guess that's all I have to say about it. I believe the next horror movie that's coming out here is Don't Breathe, and kind of iffy on if I'm gonna see that one, gonna be honest, because that one looks fucking terrifying. Oh. Like, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know if I want to see that. Like I said before, gonna have to, like, stang myself a boyfriend so I don't have to go see these movies by myself. Jesus Christ. Alright. Bye.